It is a video from MadSeasonShow. MadSeason makes videos for WoW, and he made this video called "Lifelong WoW Player Plays Old School Runescape for the First Time." And I want to watch that video because a long time ago, like 2017, 2018, 2017, 2016, I used to play a ton of RuneScape, but it wasn't because I was playing the game. As you guys can remember, I am from Venezuela. So guess what I was doing in RuneScape? That's right, farming gold to sell gold to eat. Exactly, exactly. I played a ton of RuneScape to sell the gold. That was my job, brother. My job was doing that. But at that point in time, I never really liked RuneScape. In fact, I didn't actually play the game. I only did two things. One was create steel bars in the blast furnace, and the other one was crafting runes in the abyss. And I sold the bars and I sold the runes, and that is how I made gold to sell it. I didn't do harder methods because in RuneScape you get banned as soon as I created a new character each week, because I sold my gold at 1 week and they ban me immediately. Every Tuesday they ban you. 100% they are going to ban you after you sell gold. So I didn't invest much time in each character, and the blast furnace method and the rune crafting method you could get to make gold again like in a day or 2 days. So it wasn't worth it for me to do more complicated methods because I was gonna get banned, and my account I was gonna lose all the leveling. Why am I telling all this? So that you know that I don't know deeper stuff about the game. Like, I only did blast furnace and the abyss with the rune crafting. I don't know about combat in RuneScape. I don't know about high level dungeons or raids or whatever there is. I didn't play those things because all I was doing was making gold. So I wanna watch this video from so I didn't do a quest outside for what you needed or whatever. So I wanna watch this video from MadSeason to see what he says now that I don't have to farm, to see if I get interested in the actual game, you know. Oh, I pressed play on the wrong thing. Let me see. Here we go.
All right, another day, another night of distracting myself from the various problems in my life by playing World of Warcraft. Let's see what I can complain about today. The WoW token? Did I tell them so, by the way, yet this week? You see, back during the re-release of Classic, Blizzard made something of a little promise that... what am I doing with my life? I've been in this cycle for 20 years now. 2 decades.
Brother, I didn't remember that they actually promised that there was not going to be a WoW token, and in Wrath of the Lich King they released the WoW token.
Decades of putting things off. I could have spent all that time making mad games, learning skills, exploring the world. A real world filled with possibility and excitement. You know what? It all ends today. I think it's about time to be responsible and take a break from that addiction. And replace it with another. For the very first time, I'm going to be playing RuneScape. But I still told you so, by the way. I'll be honest, I missed the boat on this one. My MMO footprint in the early days was first Phantasy Star on the Xbox, but it was offline because at the time I couldn't convince my parents to let me buy the Hunter's license, which was the subscription fee that allowed you to play with other players. After that, I stepped foot into the one and only, probably what many people consider to be the greatest MMO of all time.
EverQuest.
Star Wars Galaxies. And then there's this other one that I kind of messed around with casually for 20 years and made 600 videos about it. I don't know. It was bad. For those of you familiar with the channel, you know that I'm a depressed classic Andy. Aside from desperately trying to recapture a time of my life when it was much better, there's a certain innocent charm.
And that is exactly the thing with Classic, brother. People think, of course, there are people that actually like the game, or the majority of people, but people want to play Classic or want to Classic to be the thing that it was when they were young. But the thing is that it wasn't the game. It was them that they were young. And that is not going to happen again, brother. I know it is depressing, but that is life. So WoW is never going to be what it was, because it is not WoW what changed. What changed is you, is life. And you are never going to be 14 years old again. That is the truth, brother. And we have to cope with that.
Classic MMO style, that's always appealed to me. So when I heard that old school,
I believe that is one of the reasons why I like both retail and classic, and I don't judge them that much. It is because I didn't play them when I was young. I started playing them like a boomer already. So I don't see that. I don't have that same differentiation that people that played classic when they were young have, right? I believe so. I believe so.
School Runescape was launching, as someone who yearned for the good old days, I was a bit envious. Apparently not enough to actually play it though, which brings us to today in 2024, where for the first time I'm going to play old school RuneScape and share my impressions on it as a lifelong World of Warcraft addict. The first thing I want to say though is that this video is sponsored, but it's done under the understanding that I can say whatever the F I want, even criticisms. Those of you who watched my Jimmy React a few months back might remember I was planning on making this anyways. The second thing I'll say is that this is all complete.
I think he would have done it without the sponsorship. But if you are going to do it, it is better if you also get paid, right? But he would have done it either way, bro.
Completely blind. When I say I've never played it before, not only have I never played it, I've never even watched videos on it. No streams, nothing, aside I guess from Jimmy's video about RuneScape and nostalgia. And additionally, I have decided that I'm only going to use whatever in-game resources I have to figure things out. But being a professional gamer, I don't anticipate in having any problems.
Brother, I don't know if it was because of my ping where I live, and I didn't choose the correct word to connect to in RuneScape. But one of the problems that I had with RuneScape that I didn't like when I was farming gold, not actually playing the game, was that I felt like the game was laggy. Like I had, all the time I had my character like delay. Like you click and the character takes a while to move. It is not automatically, right? Like when you are playing Dota or League of Legends that you click and your character moves right away. In RuneScape, my character is lagging behind, brother. And I hate that, brother. I hate that feeling, dude. And I guess that it can be my server or my ping, or maybe the game is like that. And if you want to play RuneScape, you have to get used to that. Maybe people that play RuneScape are used to that, but to me, it felt weird as fuck.
Right. So the first thing I noticed, and that any Azeroth native will notice, is that there's no class selection, which may seem foreign, but as far as I know, this was more common during the pre-WoW.
Yeah, probably wrong word, man. Whenever I play OSRS, I always sort words by ping because it ranged from 28 ping to 300 ping. Yeah, probably it was that. Because as you can see, I don't know much about the game, so I didn't know what word to choose, and I just chose one at random from the ones that were at the start free, and then when I got the bond with the bond, of course, and I always bought the bond with gold because I was farming gold, of course. But yeah, bro, it was probably the word. It was probably the ping, and I have to choose correctly. But I felt that the delay, like my character took a long time to move. Good morning, Tony, my dude. How you doing, brother?
Era. Yeah, that's right. It was so popular that it splits the entire genre into before and after. Interesting to note, though, that there are no alts. It's just one account, one character. In fact, there isn't even a permanent realm selection, and players are free to switch about, kind of like layer
exactly. That is the thing I'm talking about. Those are the words. So probably I chose a word in there that gave me a bad ping.
Warcraft. Yeah, I'm going to be making a lot of comparisons to WoW, by the way, if you haven't guessed that. Hopefully it's not too annoying, but I kind of played it for...
It is not only not annoying, it is the whole reason why we are watching this video from you, brother. So you compare it to WoW.
2 decades, so it's just sort of how my brain works now. Speaking of being in WoW mentality, the first thing I did was swipe my credit card. RuneScape runs on a free-to-play model with no cash shops, but limited, where certain quests and items are locked to memberships, which is the subscription fee. I actually canceled my WoW sub though. I'm quitting forever again, if you didn't hear yet. So my mom was cool with her. I was cool with subscribing to this one instead. The only things you choose during character creation is your name and appearance. Glad to see that they have the World of Warcraft streamer haircut. As you're probably aware, this is an isometric MMO.
The bald with the little hair, because you don't go full bald. You clinch to the last remaining pieces of hair you have, and you say, oh, I am not going to cut this part because I am not going to go full bald. At that point, go full bald, brother. Don't be George Constanza. It is better to just go full bald, my dude.
RPG, meaning that you click to move from a top-down view, similar to what was at that point another popular MMO, Ultima Online. And just to put things into perspective here, RuneScape was originally released in January of 2001, so the landscape of popular MMOs right now, at least in the West, would be games like Ultima Online, EverQuest. It's still the early internet era. Most families are sharing one computer, which is probably running on AOL and is infested with viruses because somebody keeps visiting these scandalous websites. There's no YouTube nor Twitch. Guide websites are sparse and poorly done.
That is another thing why people from WoW Classic, actual WoW Classic, not the one right now, but when WoW came out, also like WoW a lot, because I have to think that the first day WoW came out, Wowhead didn't have all the information, where to go, the quest add-ons weren't developed, so people actually had to do the quest, right? So maybe that was fun, that was cool, figuring out the quests, right? Where do you need to go? Where is Man Creek's wife? Whatever. So that was part of the thing. But now people just use the add-on or go to Wowhead. You don't figure out quests. Maybe that is part 2 of the nostalgia, right? I played OSRS for 2 months. I liked it. I never got into the game because I was focused on farming gold, but I also thought that I should play it, right? But some things are hard to level up, like fishing or whatever, but I always thought that I should actually give it a try as a game, not because of farming gold. It's weird, the skill level endgame is how many clicks you can make in between server ticks. That doesn't make any sense to me because I don't know what the fuck is a server tick.
And the most you had really was your own wit and fellow players to guide you, so that's...
By the way, let me know if you can play Rizzo, or when you can, or if you want. Because, brother, I got invited to groups when I was with you in a party, but by myself, nobody invites me, brother. The delay you talk about is a server tick. Alright. So the clicks you do between server ticks does matter. Because I would think that those doesn't matter because the server doesn't take them into account.
Mindset I'm going to be trying to replicate, and in fact I won't even look at the comments of this video, so if you guys call me a monotone fuck, you'll probably get away with it. So there's this NPC at the start of the game to teach you the ropes, so
self-aware.
I ignore him, and the first thing I do is go Elder Scrolls mode and attempt to steal everything that isn't nailed down. But unfortunately, much like how I feel on the inside, everything is empty. Okay, well, what's the point of this?
Is he doing the tutorial island?
This big chest. I bet you want to click on it and get all the loot. Oh, just kidding, you bastards. Oh wait, this is a sponsored video? Oh, I mean, that's a really good way to teach you that you can click on things in the environment. This is Tutorial Island, the very start of the game.
Yes, he's doing the tutorial island, okay.
Our goal is to teach you how to play. Here you learn the basics. Right outside you're taught how to fish. World first 300 fishing in the recreation of a 15-year-old video game, by the way. How to cut down trees, and how to start a fire to cook the fish.
Okay, I remember the tutorial island. I had to do it like 100 times every time they want an account.
Yourself. They went the Elder Scrolls route where you down 30 cheese wheels in between swings and you're good to go.
You gotta eat the lettuce. It's just right, just straight up eat the lettuce.
The game operates on a skill system where by doing these things, you get better at doing these things. The more you fish, the higher level areas you can fish, the better fish you catch, which heal you more. The more you lumberjack, the better at lumberjack.
I heard like the experience curve to get to 99 is insane, like in Diablo 2 or in Diablo 4 with the Paragon board. Like when you are 92 or 94 on the skill, you are midway through. So to get from 94 to 99, it is the same that to get from 1 to 94. It is insane how it is exponential, the amount of experience you need. Now, I don't know if you actually need to be 99 to do stuff. Probably that gives you an advantage some way. 92 is half of 99, yeah, okay. So yeah, it is the same from 1 to 92 and from 92 to 99. That is insane, brother.
You are. Yeah, I know, it's a total rip.
And getting to 92 is not easy task either. I remember that getting to 92 is hard work.
Off of New World. This is what we call a sandbox. In BW, this was the standard of the genre. Players would be thrust into this giant world. They were given little direction and were just told to go get 'em, champ. Is a subgenre where the world is your oyster, and though you have little direction, that means you...
Yeah, RuneScape is like that, I remember. You get thrown into the world and they don't tell you shit. Do whatever you want. But what is what I want? I don't even know what I want. And, well, figure it out. Old school RuneScape is like that. So I believe that, for example, what I did was a blast furnace guide. What do I need to do blast furnace to make a steel bar? So what do I need to craft runs in the abyss? And I just followed the guide. So I believe that people just look where to pick up quests and where to do quests and where to level up your skills, because the game doesn't tell you shit.
You also have more freedom. And it was only AW when the magic formula was found, and all of this shifted towards theme park and linearity. So you learn how to cook, how to mine, smelt, craft, melee combat, ranged combat, magics, all pretty straightforward. Melee combat has some stuff going on with stances, which gives you different XP depending on which one you pick. You have offensive styles, defensive styles, and considering I'm a Zug, I'm mainly interested in increasing that damage, so I'm just gonna hang out on the plus sword icon so my damage increases.
But I believe that even in high content that you need combat, you also need other skills, because I remember that when I saw like what other methods to gain gold can I do, I remember there was a place called Chambers of Shirik, however, and in there you could make a lot of gold, but you needed like having high gardening and construction and alchemy. I don't know if alchemy is a skill, but you needed to have high skills that were not related to combat to be able to actually clear the thing. So maybe that is something why people also like RuneScape, because it is not only combat, you need the other skills to be able to do the thing. I just finished my dungeon. Okay, Rizzo bro, tell me if you are up to play the game, because if that is the... if you want me to quit the battleground, because if you want, I will quit the battleground and we go the dungeon. Or if you are fine with waiting for me, or if you don't want to play, whatever, just let me know, brother.
Right. Beyond the skill system, you're taught how to use all of the other features expected from an MMO, such as quests, how to use the bank. The ladder is where you learn about the polls. Even if you haven't played old school RuneScape, you've probably heard about this. This is the game's Classic Plus, but instead of releasing features where players stay in one area and do the same quests over and over to go from level 40 to 50 in the span of 5 hours while earning 1,500 gold, these features are released with the intent to maintain the spirit of vanilla.
Exactly, I remember that you can vote for what you want to be introduced into the game.
The developers present these features and the community as a whole votes on them, and if they pass a certain threshold, they will be developed into the game. And I'm sure this polling system isn't perfect, but I think that the communities of these games are too often disregarded, and while the customer isn't always right, there's still value to be drawn from the neckbeard hive mind that have been hopelessly addicted to your game.
Well, if it's whatever I want, I would prefer to finish the BG and then we go the dungeon. So I don't have to quit.
So those are the major updates, but from what I'm to understand, it does also get updated weekly. Some of them can be as minor as balance updates, and as major as entire new continents or systems, one of which is Iron Man mode, where if you talk to this NPC just outside, you can enable permanent character death. That's all well and good, but probably not a good idea for my first character, so I'm gonna save that for another time maybe. So, wait, what the fuck? And with that, you depart Tutorial Island, and you're off into the great beyond. You're given a little direction in the form of adventure paths where, by leveling up some core skills, you're given items and gold and gear to start you off until you get a good footing on the game. I'm given...
Yes, there are quests that you need like, I don't know, 20 cooking, and then they give you some stuff. And there are also quests that give you experience for the skill. Like you complete a quest and that can give you, I don't know, certain experience in cooking or in wood cutting or whatever.
A set of iron armaments, and I'm off to find my first quest. Opening the map, I find just how huge the world is. The starting town
huge.
here is called Lumbridge, which, when fully zoomed out, is a pale blue dot within the world of Gielinor, which is the medieval realm that RuneScape is based around. And wow, this is a big game with a lot going on. Looks like my map has herpes. Well, the only way to clear it is to clear it. I go to the nearest quest, indicated by these blue and white icons on the map, and I talk to this old man. His name is Vios, a treasure hunter from the wondrous kingdom of Great Korend. He has a treasure map and has tracked it down to the town of Lumbridge.
Also, now that he's talking about the kingdoms and the people or whatever, I don't have any fucking idea what the lore in RuneScape is. I know that there are silly quests and stuff that is funny, like the Romeo and Juliet quest or whatever. But I don't have any idea what the fuck is going on in RuneScape, brother. Yeah, I remember farming my magic to be able to teleport because walking sucks. Yes, brother. Exactly. Like, you need rooms to teleport into different parts of the world, like the Lumbridge teleport or whatever and stuff like that.
So, naturally, he entrusts it to a stranger that he met 10 seconds ago. Yeah, my first quest isn't to kill 10 boars or collect cactus apples. It's a treasure hunt. You're given a scroll, and you're told to buy a shovel because Vios is also a cheap dick. We buy the shovel from a general store just nearby, and I use it as an opportunity to clear my inventory of my band gear.
I like Grand Exchange a lot. It's always full of people. Yeah, I was in the Grand Exchange all the time because I filled up my inventory and I had to go to the Grand Exchange to sell stuff or whatever. And yes, I was there all the time to sell stuff and to check the prices. And yes, it is always full of people, and it is nice, it is cool. That is something that some games are missing. WoW has it kinda with always the main city, the capital, but it is not as full and as cool as RuneScape.
And we're in the shop interface a bit. I decide to hold on to my pot for now, and I use the scroll to reveal the following message. Within the town of Lumbridge lives a man named Bob. He walks out of his door and takes 1 step east, 7 steps north, 5 steps west, and 1 step south. Once he arrives, he digs a hole and buries his treasure. I think about it for a bit, and I say, screw that, let's F up some goblins. Yeah, I think I might have ADHD, by the way, I don't know. I eventually regain my focus, and I scour the town for the elusive Bob, checking every house and mousing over every NPC for about 30 minutes, until I find out he was 5 steps away from my starting position near the graveyard. He's the axe salesman of the village. I follow the scroll's instructions, and I dig up a treasure scroll. It shows a map of a building where X marks the spot, and opening the in-game map, I find pretty quickly that it's the castle right.
I should play it again. I got a lot of stats into the mid-70s last time I played. I might play it soon. I'm getting bored of this season, brother. I am getting bored of this season too, bro. And I was so excited for the world within. There are so many cool things, but the season is fucked, brother. The season is fucked. Let's be honest. And I know that I have complained about this a lot, and some people say that it is a skill issue or whatever. Nah, bro, this season is boring. This season is boring as fuck. And when I made the video about this is why Dragonflight is going, or this is why the world within will be worse than Dragonflight, I didn't even say it was going to be because of this. But I was right, and I didn't want to be right. I wanted to be wrong, but I was right. This sucks, brother. This sucks. There is only one auction house in RuneScape. That's what makes it special. WoW has a billion, even more now with the mount. There's no reason or place to gather as a whole anymore, like a Stormwind or Oregon Classic. Yeah, and it's divided. Like if you are in Alliance, you are in a Stormwind. If you are with the Horde, you are in Orgrimmar. So it is divided. It is not just one.
Where you were left in Lumbridge, and wandering behind it near the exit, digging a little
yes,
bit.
This battleground is a lost.
Cold to the touch. Bringing it to Vios, he tells me that it's basically a game of hot and cold, where the closer you are to the treasure, the hotter the orb becomes, and this is pretty intense for a first quest. I mean, it's not necessarily complicated or anything, but it's just such a stark contrast to how babied gamers are these days. You know, games that are advertised as great.
That is one thing I can tell you for sure about RuneScape. It doesn't baby you at all. In fact, it is the whole contrary. It is the other spectrum. It just throws you to the wilderness. Not exactly to the wilderness. That is a special place in RuneScape where there is PvP combat. But they just throw you out there and you have to figure it out on yourself. And that is why people go to the RuneScape Wikipedia and YouTube videos or whatever, because they just do a complete 180 and they just don't tell you shit. OSRS wiki is god tier, exactly.
And adventures lead you around step by step with yellow paint, deathly afraid of players getting lost and having to use their brain to figure stuff out. And as it happens to turn out, I can't figure this quest out. I followed the orb to this building surrounded by these dudes who are angry.
So Mad Season is actually trying to do this shit without any resources, and that is hard to do, brother. Like, he's doing quests on his own, which should be the way to play every game, right? Like, but that is not the world we live in anymore, brother. We have to accept that world departed a long time ago. We are in the metagaming world. We are in the saving time world. So I am not going to just walk around town trying to figure out what is the NPC that I have to talk to. I am going to go to the wiki and they are going to tell me exactly where the dude is, and I won't waste time. That is the world we are living in. That is the world we are living in. There is a wiki borrow on the minimap in OSRS with an integrated wiki search in game that I'll pull up a page on second monitor. It's so clean. Oh, that is cool. That is cool.
The world because they're bald. And what the F? I can't fight them. I could fight everything else. Why can't I fight these guys? I try running past them and I enter the sewers that has even more stuff I can't click on. So I just figure that maybe this is just a high level quest that I happen to pick up that I have to come back to. I'm just gonna...
You know what was annoying to level up, in my opinion? I didn't like it a lot. I didn't like leveling agility. It was like you have to run through these courses over and over and over again. It is like, who the fuck enjoys doing this, brother? That is why people buy services in RuneScape, so another motherfucker just does this stupid circuit a million times.
Kill some goblins for now. I did this for a while, in fact, to see if maybe I could level up more to fight the baldies. So I start leveling up my attack, which should result in me doing more damage. Right? I do take a break and explore a little bit. I see more quests around me, but in an effort to not overwhelm my primitive monkey brain and to also save my ego a bit, I don't want to immediately give up on the first effing quest I encountered in a genre of game I've been playing since my childhood. So I just kind of take in the sights and enjoy the music. Speaking of which, that's probably one of the most charming things about this game. I'm not really sure how to explain it. It sort of sounds like an 8th grade music student's project. If that music student was Mozart. I love it. The trumpets and the flutes, and it has this medieval composition, but it was made in a MIDI player. It's catchy, and despite the fact that this is my first time playing, it's oddly nostalgic. Combining that with the sound effects, the game's audio overall
He's going to kill me, fuck! I had him, brother!
Future videos. I decided to take a break from killing goblins and level up my fishing right near Lumbridge. I find some other players doing the same thing. I don't talk to them because I have social anxiety. And it's here where I realized that
I am like that, not because of social anxiety. I don't have that, but I just normally don't talk to people inside the game unless I have to. Like, I am not the guy that is going to, hey, how is your day going, brother? In the game to someone I don't know. I am not going to do that. Rarely I am going to do that. I can ask a question. Hey guys, where is this thing? Or why did this thing change? Or stuff like that. Maybe I can do that.
RuneScape is a great idle game. You just click on a spot to fish and then switch back to your porn. Or, I mean, trading card game shop simulator and stand in the corner ripping packs like a goblin.
By the way, now that he's talking about card games, I spent my whole weekend playing the new Pokemon thing for the phone. Pokemon Pocket. That is a TCG for the phone. And I am enjoying it. It is not like the best game ever and it is insane, but it is enjoyable for sure.
While your minimum wage employees do all the work. Eventually I have enough of this and I head back into town for some more goblin slaying. Hey, I leveled up my attack. I bet this time I'll do 2 damage per swing now. Okay. Maybe another level or 2. I slay more goblins until I reach level 5, at which point I return to my adventure path NPC for my reward, which is a steel longsword. Okay, weapon upgrade. Now I'll definitely deal 1 damage.
We won? How the fuck did we win? Somebody left the dungeon. And I was losing this shit. Thank God, brother. Thank God.
Okay, pardon my French here, but what the F? I go visit the Baldies again, who remain unimpressed by my meager progression. But hang on, this is the first quest. Clearly there's something I'm not getting. I give the orb a more thorough investigation, and I find that this isn't where the treasure is at all. Rather, it leads me to a nearby village. I dig once more to reveal another scroll that gives me a cipher. Es Pizaps Kujikafo. I bring this back to Vios, who gives me a hint to shift the letters over once. I think about it for a while, try to puzzle it out, realize I'm too stupid, and go back to killing goblins. I level up my attack again, continue to deal 1 damage. I do this all the way until level 20, where I complete my last adventure path quest for attack, and I get this amazing mithril sword, crafted from the heart of a volcano held within the lands of... and I'm still dealing 1 damage. Cool. Whatever, I'm chilling. I got my trading card game running, waiting for the next Pokemon lawsuit. For a little variety, I decide to switch grinding spots. I start attacking higher level enemies in the swamp, which actually...
He just used a very important word. If you don't like grinding, you won't like RuneScape, brother. You have to like grinding to enjoy RuneScape. That is the truth.
Actually deal damage to me now, so I need to be stocked on heals. But that's not a problem because there's a fishing spot nearby, so it's a nice cozy little grinding spot where I'm leveling up my combat, fishing, cooking, and logging all at once. I figure the best thing I can do is focus on my adventure path, so now that I've maxed out attack, despite only dealing 1 damage still, I switch to defense so I can make the grind a little bit more hands-free so I can focus on more important things. I get my defense to 15 doing this, and decide to...
You have to like watching TV or movies to enjoy RuneScape. Yeah, like having something else in the second monitor and you are just leveling your skills in here while watching something else in here. Yes, I get it, brother. I used to do that when I was farming because it is not fun to run like the Blast Furnace 8 hours a day or the Abyss for the rooms 8 hours a day. I just did it because I had to do it. It was like a job, so I had, of course, something else in the second monitor, brother. Of course.
Switch up my stances again, so now I'm getting strength levels and... Oh my god. I'm dealing 2 damage. Oh my god, I'm dealing 2 damage. Okay, so before you make fun of me, let's just get this straight for a moment. Upgrading a skill called attack level and equipping higher level weapons in a role-playing game doesn't increase your damage. I don't know, maybe they said this in the tutorial. I'm a warrior main. Reading isn't really my strong suit.
So what the fuck increases your damage then, if it isn't that?
Speaking of which, I've realized I've been grinding here for about 5 hours, and I just now realized that there's a quest right next to me. There's this couple who barely escaped an island with their lives. Apparently there's a murderer running afoot, and they're asking me to rescue their friend. So now that I'm dealing 2 damage per hit, I'm feeling pretty cocky. I load up on healing items, and I depart to what seems like a Scooby-Doo.
Strength. Okay, the little fist. Okay.
The mansion. There's an NPC outside, and wait, what the F? A cutscene? The villain from the Scream movies walks up behind him and gives him an aggressive back scratch, and he has a Mustafa-esque drawn-out death, and he very conveniently drops a key to the mansion in a barrel in front of him. Gaining access to the mansion, I'm ready to F stuff up. Full inventory of healing items, dealing 2 damage, and it's another puzzle. There are a bunch of doors with colored knobs that you have to figure out how to open. But despite my previous failure, I do have some measure of confidence.
I never did that quest. I remember I did a couple of quests. I don't know why, but I needed to have certain experience on some skills, and there were quests that gave you easy experience for those things. So I did a quest a lot that was like killing a vampire, a Dracula, in a mansion. I did that quest a bunch. I did the Romeo and Juliet quest a lot. Those are the 2 that I remember the most, but I did other quests too, but I don't remember them.
Being a lifetime survival horror fan, the environment's very Resident Evil-esque, so let's just give it a shot here. Trying the pink door, we witness another murder. The killer taunts you by leaving a clue for you to solve. Isn't murder a work of art? Beautiful, yet haunting. Like
I did that quest, I remember.
As we wander
like,
through.
There is a killer on the house or something like that, and you have to discover them. I think I did that quest too.
Of death. There's a knife on the table just entering the mansion, and there are a few paintings placed around, so my guess is that you have to cut them open. Because I do have the problem-solving skills of a child, I'm correct. In the room right next door, there's a painting of a valley, and upon using the knife, we get the red key, which grants us access to a room with a broken wall and a barrel of...
But I have to say that him doing all of this without using a guide is impressive. To me, it is impressive, brother. I did all of this following the guide.
Gunpowder, so obviously we have to light it. I searched the crates to no avail. The next room has some wardrobes, which I saw the killer use to travel, but they're all empty. And I'm stumped for a few minutes until I pan my camera to see that there's a shelf of tinder approximately 1 foot away from the barrel.
And that is
I
a guy
also
with the
had
mount.
tinder in my inventory the whole time, but that's not that easy. The balls are inert. I mean, the fuse is damp, and it won't light. I try to light a campfire on top of it and talk about World of Warcraft in an attempt to dry it out, but it doesn't seem to work. Eventually I find that there are unlit candles in the room, and lighting them all warms the room up enough for the fuse to be lit. Apparently the roaring fire right on top of it wasn't enough, but okay, suppose that makes sense. So we blow a hole in the wall and progress to witness another murder. He leaves yet another note which reads, "It's like music to my ears, the glorious sounds spelling out your fate." This part was pretty easy, honestly. There's a piano nearby and I spell out the only thing that makes sense. D-E-A-D. I do play a bit of piano. I have very dexterous fingers.
I remember that too.
In fact, the background music you're listening to right now is by yours truly, so please compliment me, even though I won't see it because I'm not going to read comments. But by
Oh, MadSeason writes music too. That is awesome, bro.
solving this puzzle, it opens up a compartment in the piano that gives you the green key, which grants access to another room where we witness another murder. The note this time reads, "Hear at first these words. Each murder you witness helplessly from start to end. As you fail to solve the final letters of this quiz, razor sharp like a gemstone is the blade of my knife. The last sound you will hear will be of your scream's echo. Heed that I will have the final word in this thriller." Immediately I noticed that the first letter of each line spell out hearth, so I know it has something to do with the fireplace. There are 3 of them that I can reach, and I interact.
I am too stupid to figure that out, brother. And I like puzzles and logic things, but that is out of my realm of expertise.
With them in every way, but nothing really seems to work. Have you ever played escape games and you get desperate enough to where you just randomly try combining objects? Aha! It must be the rubber chicken with the clock. Well, I tried.
Of course, I played a lot of Monkey Island. I don't know if you guys know about Monkey Island. I love Monkey Island. I played the 1, the 2, and the 3. I never played the fourth Monkey Island. But I played the 1, 2, and 3. And in Monkey Island, you had to do a lot of that. Combine this with that. And if you didn't know the combinations, you had to try a lot of stuff.
That I tried to light the unlit fireplace. I tried the fish. I tried dousing the others. I was stumped for a good while until, after reading the note for the 50th time, I took notice to this line. Razor sharp like a gemstone is the blade of my knife, so I try the knife with the fireplace, and lo and behold, a switch panel is revealed with 6 gemstones.
I guess that if you play the game like this, like without looking at a guide or whatever, and trying to figure things out, the game has a lot of content, because this is like one of the first quests that you can do in the game. So if you go about the game like this, you have content for ages, dude.
A diamond, onyx, zenite, ruby, sapphire, and emerald. Looking at the note once more, the answer lies within this line, as you failed to solve the final letters of this quiz. S for sapphire, D for diamond, Z for zenite, E for emerald, O for onyx, and R for ruby. So clicking these in that order reveals the final key, where you face off mano a mano against the killer in a form of another puzzle. You're in a room with 4 wardrobes and a movable mirror, and he throws daggers from the wardrobes. Pretty simple, as you probably guessed. You push the mirror to reflect the daggers back at him. Upon victory, you come to realize that he is a she. The culprit this whole time was the quest giver, who has a hatred for adventurers and their main character syndrome. The guy she was with was also in on it.
I told you, RuneScape has a lot of things that are funny, brother. And that is one of them.
And they're about to gank you until they get into an argument, which distracts them long enough for what we thought was another victim to stab them with the Sword of 1,000 Truths. And that's it. As a reward, you get a quest point, XP, some gems, and this was awesome. As far as the standards are for MMOs, even today, this was...
Oh, the other quest I did a lot was one for the runes, that you have to go to a big tower where there are some wizards, and they have like the wizard hat and everything. I remember that.
One of the coolest quests I've ever done. Like I said, I didn't look anything up, so I was feeling rather proud of myself for my accomplishment of
no, you did great, brother.
Puzzle solving. But that, along with the cutscenes, it was presented very well, and this would be a theme for the rest of my gameplay, I would find. As I continued to level my strength and started dealing more than 1 damage, I revisited Lumbridge and went on a questing orgy. I exorcised a ghost, I slayed a vampire, I saved a guy from being turned into a chicken, and I found a magic sword and slayed a demon. Some quests were easy, some took hours to figure out, and others stumped me completely. Like this one where I'm supposed to find this cat. I found her, but the bastard won't let me pick her up. Her kittens are mewing in these...
Oh, I did one where you had to smuggle some rum into an island with the bananas or something like that. I did that one too. That was one cool, was funny.
Crates, but no matter how many times I try, I can't pick it up, and the quest NPCs don't really give me any information, and I'm stumped, I'll be honest. You know, Jimmy made a video a while back saying how RuneScape doesn't need nostalgia, that it stands on its own 2 feet, and I know that I've only really scratched the surface here, but I gotta say that I agree. The world is huge. The little quests I've done are some of the most interesting and fun that I've played in MMOs, even by today's standards. As it turns out, there's like this huge series scene with RuneScape on YouTube, and I definitely understand why now. The quests in this game actually have something to them. It's not the most serious thing in the world, but there are these narratives and storylines, and even if they are silly, they feel like adventures, and they're quite memorable. The music is awesome, the systems and skills are interesting and unique, and the game just oozes charm from every orifice, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. They weren't jagging up.
We have to be honest, guys. A lot of people are drawn away from RuneScape because of the graphics. Like, there are people that would love it and would try it if the game looked better. Let's be honest in here, guys.
When they made this, it's not perfect. Nothing ever is. I feel like the traveling at times can get really laborious. You see, you have something of a stamina meter right here in the top right, which depletes.
Oh, that thing is one of the annoying things about RuneScape, by the way, that you wanna run, but you get out of stamina, and it is annoying.
Run, and when it's out, you walk, and you walk very slowly. I know why it's done. It's the same as with no flying in Old Azeroth. It's to make the world seem big, and the world does seem big in this game. I'm not even saying that it's a flaw, but sometimes I do find myself traveling from point A to point B.
Yeah, it is annoying.
3 days later. 3 weeks later. Many months later.
I am sure.
I remember I always had stamina potions because I didn't want to walk. and I just use stamina potions all the time just to have more speed.
There are ways to improve it. I know that you can teleport if you level up magic, or maybe if you run naked or something, it drains slower, or maybe there's an item or a potion that you can get or craft, but as someone who's trying to not look anything up, I personally have not found it yet. The game also has bonds, which are the equivalent of the WoW token. You buy them with gold and use them to gain membership time, or you can buy them with real money and then sell them for gold in the auction house. So there is a paid element here. Those of you who've watched, I don't know, one video on my channel probably know I don't care for
Yeah, MadSeason playing RuneScape, and since I played a lot of RuneScape before, but not playing, but selling gold, I wanted to watch this video.
Stuff like this. Told you so, by the way. I think it kind of defeats the purpose of an RPG if you're able to buy progression. It sort of feels like the most efficient way to progress is with your wallet instead of your time, which isn't as satisfying.
A lot of people have that criticism for RuneScape, that you can buy the bonds and sell and get the gold, and with gold you progress a lot your skills, and that is a criticism. I think you still have to grind a lot. Yeah, gold can help you out a lot, but you still have to grind your skills. It is not like you can buy the actual progression for the skills. So, at least in my experience. Are you one of them Venezuelan green dragon hunters? I was one. I didn't farm green dragons. I farmed steel runes, steel bars in the blast furnace, and rune crafting in the abyss. But yes, I used to sell gold in RuneScape for a living. I was one of those, brother. I know people hate them, and they are toxic as fuck. I know there are some of them that are toxic as fuck, so I understand why people hate them.
I guess I don't care about it as much in RuneScape because I'm not emotionally attached to it like I am with WoW, for one, but also just because I'm not familiar with it, really. Like in Classic, it's really bad because combined with GDKPs and arena carries, you can literally buy the best gear in the game with your credit card. It's like, are there even raids in RuneScape? Do they have the best gear? Are there GDKP runs? Is the PvP competitive? I don't know, I just can't imagine watching a RuneScape PvP video and being like, oh my god, bro. Did you see how he switched from lunge to slash?
By the way, when I think about RuneScape PvP, I always think about that Oda Block clip where he's like watching a tournament or something like that, and the caster says it didn't register, or waiting for it to register or something like that. I know that says, what do you mean waiting for it to register? And he goes, blap! Oh, you're going to... I am going to use tutorial because I don't want to die. Okay. And he goes, blap!
That was some top tier shit. I don't know. So that's probably up in the air.
Are you gonna play Ashes this Friday with us? We can play Ashes for free. If I can play it for free, I will do it 100%. If I have to pay, no. But if I can do it for free, of course I will play it, dude.
Depending on how you play or what you care about, I guess for me at this stage in the game, I don't really see it affecting me. But all in all, it's a fun game. I'm kind of addicted, actually. I even got it on my effing phone. This could be a series if you guys like it enough. I would
nice.
say I
hope it is a series. I hope it is a series.
I'm not gonna look at the comments of this video, but I don't know. We'll see.
$120. There is no way in hell. Bro, the $30, if it ends up being $30 for PoE 2, is a lot for me. So there is no way in hell I go 120 for Ashes.
What I do know is that it has a lot of charm. If you do want to check out old school RuneScape, either on desktop or mobile, click my links in the description and the pinned comment. Like I said, it's free to play with bonuses and more content for members, and from a lifelong World of Warcraft player.
RuneScape is a good game, brother. RuneScape is a good game. It has his things as every game, but in my opinion, it is a good game. A lot of people don't give it a try because of the graphics, and I understand completely because I was like that. Like, who the fuck plays this game? It looks stupid, but when you actually play it, you realize it is cool.
My seal of approval, and it came at a good time because I recently broke up with my girlfriend, so I see no better option than to spend my time being a depressed middle-aged man grinding goblins in the recreation of a 20-year-old video game.
stepping on every fucking banana.
Farewell for now.
Yo, Juan de Milton, my brother, you joined the pack, dude. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Welcome to the pack, my dude.
Oh, mortals. We hope you enjoyed today's video. See you again soon.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Hey, brother, that was a cool video. That was a cool video. Like the perspective of a new player to the RuneScape, not using guides.
Just
or
let me
using
double your
anything.
money real quick.
Not using guides or using anything, just focusing on playing the game the good old way, you know. And that is a different or the original way to enjoy games. So I think he's doing it right, doing it like that. I couldn't do it like that just because I wanna go fast. Because I am an idiot and I understand that I am destroying the experience for myself. But what can I do? So yes, I think it was a good video. I hope MadSeason keeps playing the game. Sometimes I wanna try it. But there is so many things, and RuneScape is a game that requires a certain time commitment to the grinding, right? But I wanna try like the Chambers of Serik stuff and things like that. But yes, it was a cool video. Thank you, MadSeason, because of that. From a Venezuelan gold farmer, a former Venezuelan, not former Venezuelan, from a Venezuelan former gold farmer.